Well, I've centered the main to make things a little bit easier getting to access to that first reef point at this at the after end of the boom and on the leech, and I'm using one of these strops around the boom itself to tie in that reef differently, not relying on the actual reef line that's there at the moment that's causing me this problem. And so getting up there, of course, in this swell has been pretty interesting because we're rocking about like mad, and I have to be very careful. You know, I'm luckily able to hang on to my bimini steelwork, which proves really useful in this kind of situation. Keeps me safe being inside that. Anyway, so I'll just show what I've done at the moment. I'll strap around the boom, and I've tied that to both ends of that to a soft shackle here, and the soft shackle is going to the reef cringle somewhere there, and so this is basically a backup for the reef line that's already there. The reef line is still in place. So I've got a double lot of lines on that reef point with the idea of keeping the reef in for the time being and getting rid of the second reef, so that I can at least sail a little bit faster than we are at the moment, which is minimal. I'm backing up the first reef that's already there. What I thought was I pulled that line through with a bit of snag that there was, and I've tied it in again around the boom so that the first reef is actually tied in, and I'm relying in fact on the jamming of that line inside the boom. But should that give way, which of course is very likely, then I've got my other tie in for that first reef. So that's the situation at the moment. So I'll get rid of the second reef now. I'll raise the main, get a little bit more sail, and let the sheet out the main and maybe get a bit more speed while I have a look and see whether I've got what I need to run the line outside the boom. Well, it's not perfect, but it'll do for the moment until I see if I can figure out a rigging of the line outside the boom in place of those two systems there. I've tied in the first original line taken up on the excess and tied it around the boom again, so that it is actually for the moment holding the reef in, as well as the bits of the pieces that I've added in, the strop and the soft shackle and so on. So at least we've got a bit more speed than we did have, but I really need to be able to let out that first reef completely and know that I can also take it in again. Well, this was the view this morning, Saturday, at around 7 o'clock. A really pretty spectacular dawn, lovely colouring and amazing cloudscape. So well worthwhile, and really pleased I got to see that. Well, it's Saturday morning and I'm busily clearing up, doing the usual domestic things. First thing, well, not that first thing, kind of mid-morning actually, but I had my coffee, clearing up in the galley and just checking around generally, keeping an eye on the I've got to have a look at the cabbage to see whether or not that's still okay. Should be, but sometimes they get a bit gungy on the outside. And very pleasant sailing day today. It's very, very nice. We've still got quite a bit of swell, so we are still rolling around quite a bit, but very pleasant. We're making a good 5 to 6 knots. We're going downwind slightly, we're on a reach, and on course for the Marquesas. End of the month we should be there by, hopefully. At least that the sail is looking a little bit neater and tidier than it was before I dealt with that first reef yesterday. I still have to run the line. I've got a block to put there, I think, with the shackle to attach that to the end of the boom and find a line. I've still got to find the line to run from there all the way to the mast and then back down to the cockpit here. So yeah, we'll get on with that later today. Just finished tidying up down below. So here's the block I'm hoping to use with a variety of shackles. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to attach it to the end of the boom, but just give me a few options. And there's also a one of the furling line leads that came adrift a while back. I found another one when I was looking for these things, so that's got the screw, the machine screw in it, and just waiting for the chance sometime or other to get that replaced. And of course the inevitable flying fish waiting to be thrown back into the sea. Always, just about every night we seem to get at least one or two, if not more. Very pleasant sailing, warm day, sun shining in between the clouds, no dark grey squalls at the moment, and yeah, pretty rolly at times. A bigger one came through just then, but yeah, very pleasant. We're making around 6 knots, 5.5 at times, mostly 6, so that's good. I decided that the only way to guarantee having a reasonable meal in the evening, properly cooked, a proper meal, was to actually get going on it really early in the day, because too often I'm kind of out there and begin to see the sun go down, and that's too late because I have a radio scared around sunset, unfortunately, and one a little bit later. So too often I'm kind of making do with a meal rather quickly and then getting it really late in the evening. So here we are. It's not quite midday, but I'm really getting going on this meal early. Probably going to be enough for 2 meals, which is even better. And I'm going to add some broccoli and cauliflower into the onion and chicken here, and maybe a hint of ginger would be nice. So that's the plan for the moment. But at least we've got going early, so I'm going to definitely have a good meal tonight.